Mach Go 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 was created by Tatsuo Yoshida, founder of Tatsunoko Productions. It debuted in June 1966 in manga form. A year later, the anime aired in Japan from April 1967 to March 1968. There are 52 episodes in all. Speed Racer's design came from an early manga by Yoshida, Pilot Ace. Both mangas are almost exactly alike. Other ideas that inspired Speed Racer were two movies that were popular in Japan at the time. The Elvis Presley film Viva Las Vegas and the 007 thriller Goldfinger. James Bond's Aston Martin was the inspiration for Speed's Mach 5, both which have gadgets. The original name of the series, Mach Go Go Go, has a triple meaning. In Japan, Speed Racer's name is Go Mifune. Go means the number 5 in Japanese. Then there's the English word, go. The Mach 5 was originally called Mach. It did not have an automobile for a reference. Instead, it was designed with the animation in mind. The designer of the Mach proved that the design was good by showing the last bit of animation on the intro. This is the part where the car drives head onto the screen, Speed jumps out of the car, and the camera rotates around to a side view. Fall of 1967, Mach Go 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 made its way to the United States as Speed Racer only a few months after it was released in Japan. In Latin America, it's known as Meteoro, or Meteor. When Speed Racer was released in the United States, the dubbing was sped up in order for the voices to match up with the animated mouths.
The Mach 5 hasn't been damaged. I'll go on with the race even though I can't see. I've got to beat the car acrobatic team.
Although, if you do watch Mach Go Go Go, the characters speak clearly and at a normal rate. The same-
僕の兄さんでは。
どうした？なぜ兄弟の名乗りをしない？
こう、俺は二度と家へ帰れぬ男だ。今の俺はレーサーではなく秘密情報部員なのだ。
The same goes for Meteoro.
¡Oh! ¡Se nos olvidó el parabrisas!
Olvide el parabrisas ahora, bujía. Tendré que correr sin esa defensa.
Es una tontería, amigo. Necesitas protección.
Pero es que no hay tiempo para buscarlo ahora.
Corre riesgo sin el cristal.
Other Speed Racer on-screen series include 1993's New Adventures of Speed Racer, 1997's Speed Racer X, 2008's The Next Generation, then there's the 2008 flick, Speed Racer.
He's hip. He's hot. And he's in a hurry. He's Speed Racer. Collect all the classic adventures of Speed Racer and the new adventures of Speed Racer, now on video cassette from Family Home Entertainment, wherever videos are sold.
The original series is about Speed entering different races in his Mach 5, but usually this leads to some action, detective work, and helping other characters. Usually, Spritle and Chim Chim stow away in the trunk of the Mach 5. This leads them to become the Deus Ex Machina of the story, or Spritle screwing things up. Spritle's just the worst. In episode 49, Car in the Sky, Speed, his team, and some other people, including the obvious antagonist, crash into an island that was an abandoned secret base for Nazis. Since it's secret, no one knows about the island, so Speed gets an idea to make the Mach 5 into a dirigible. The problem is, only 3 people can ride in it, so Speed, a girl, and the obvious antagonist take off. A few hours later, they realize that they lost altitude. So the genius that Spritle is decided to stow away in the Mach 5, as he usually does. By doing this, he almost fell out, made the crew toss belongings, which almost kills the obvious antagonist, They also tossed spare parts and some of their food supply. They ran out of gas from the extra weight, made the obvious antagonist lose what was left of his fortune, pissing him off even further. Remember, he's not a villain, he's just the antagonist. Because of all of this, the antagonist separates from the group, which ended in him losing his life. Then, he pisses off a seagull, which calls his buddies, and the birds attack the Mach 5. Because of this, they lost the last of their food. Now, the girl came along because her mom was dying. Spritle, in his infinite wisdom, is too worried about Speed's race, so he tells him to land on the track. Instead, Speed goes directly to the girl's mom's house. As usual, there are no repercussions to Spritle's actions. This show definitely has a different tone than Initial D. In that series, Takumi drives a real-life car, a 1983 Toyota Corolla 11 or AE86, and only races in the mountains of Japan. Speed Racer has a lot of camp elements, reminiscent of Batman and Green Hornet, both shows from the same time. Most stories are 2 episodes with a few single and 3-parters. The standout stories are The Most Dangerous Race, The Fire Race, Girl Daredevil, The Fastest Car, Mach 5 vs. Mach 5, The Royal Race, Snake Track, Man on the Lam, The Gang of Assassins, The Terrifying Gambler, The Secret Invaders, The Man Behind the Mask, The Great Car Wrestling Match, Motorcycle Apaches, The Junk Car Grand Prix, The Car in the Sky, The Trick Race, and The Race Around the World. One thing that a person who hasn't watched the show might think is that Speed races against other cars like the Mach 5. Well, he doesn't. Most of the cars in the show are average race cars. So, does this make Speed a cheater? Yes, but maybe not. When his car is entered into all of those races, the people in charge of the races are allowing the Mach 5 to race. So, I guess the car and its abilities are allowed. For an anime from the 1960s, there seems to be a lot of base work for modern anime. There were times where I was surprised by an outcome or even the amount of death in the show that was watched by kids of the time. When it came to the toys of the time, there were some wind-up tin Mach 5s. Later, there will be plenty of die-cast metal and plastic cars, but in 1999, a small Ohio toy company would pick up the license and do something we had not seen for the franchise at the time.